Hey everybody, it's Mike Young from the Health Optimization Cruise. I'm 54 years young, and I'm here with our stars of the event, who are the first original presenters to sign up, which is a doc and chef, which
Yay.
is Caryn Dugan and Dr. Jim Loomis. So welcome and you guys are at a conference right now at ACLM. So
That's right. We're at the American College of Lifestyle Medicine conference here in sunny Orlando, Florida.
all right, yes, okay, and it is warmer in Florida now than it
Yes.
is in most of the country, and then when we have our event in January, it's going to be freezing everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We
That's
can't
right.
wait. We can't wait.
All right, so
Perfect timing for sure.
Caryn, you run the Center for Plant-Based Living. Dr. Loomis, you are in charge of the Bernard Medical Center. I know you were in the Game Changers movie. So besides that, I mean, that right away tells people a lot. What can you tell us about your background, just for maybe people that aren't familiar with what you do?
Sure, sure. So I'm a board certified in internal medicine and also in lifestyle medicine. And I practice lifestyle medicine myself. And I came to all this through my own personal health transformation. Like many doctors, we didn't learn anything about nutrition. And after eating kind of a standard Western diet when I was in my early 50s, I discovered that you literally can't outrun a mediocre diet after a knee injury, and developed a whole bunch of chronic medical problems, borderline blood pressure and borderline diabetes and high cholesterol and sleep apnea. And one day saw Game Changer, I mean, the Forks Over Knives movie, and thought, wow, food is medicine, and transitioned to plant-based diet literally overnight. And it transformed, it saved my life, I can honestly say, and reversed every single one of my chronic conditions. And after I learned the power of lifestyle and the power of plants in particular, because there's other important components, exercise and stress management and sleep, but we know food really sits at the center. And once you have that as a physician, you can't unhave it. And it really jump-started, re-energized my career to really focus and share this message around the power of plants. And
Perfect.
that's what I have a passion for, and that's what I do. And as you said, I've been blessed really since then. I speak all over the world spreading this message. I was in the documentary The Game Changers, and I have got to start a business with my friend and colleague Caryn, the Doc and Chef, which
Yeah.
Caryn will tell you about in a minute.
That's right. Because Caryn, tell us about the yummy part, because you're the chef. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a foodie. I
Yeah.
just love to eat. So please tell me more.
So I started STL Veg Girl back in 2011. I adopted a plant-based diet in 2008 due to some health issues. I lost my dad in 2008 to cancer. 10 weeks after he passed away, I was diagnosed. So it's been a long journey on this whole plant-based in this plant-based lifestyle. And in 2019, I opened up the Center for Plant-Based Living, which was the first fully plant-based nutrition and healthcare educational center. We are 100% virtual now. And then from COVID, Jim and I started the Doc and Chef. I am a certified health and wellness coach. I am a plant-based nutritional chef. I have a certificate from Cornell in plant-based nutrition. We both do. So, it's been a long time in this sector, and the Doc and Chef, which is what we're going to be doing on the boat,
Yeah.
is where we're on YouTube, by the way, and all the shows are free.
All right.
Every other week, we come out with a new episode. They're all topical based. They're anywhere between 6 and 15 minutes long. Our first episode, where are you going to get protein on a plant-based diet?
Right, right.
So Jim breaks down the science in very easy to understand parts, and then he tosses it over to me, and I made, in this episode, a protein heavy, fully plant-based, oil-free meal recipe. And that's what we do for every single Doc and Chef. We take one topic, Jim breaks it down, I make a recipe that
All right.
shows the science that he's talking about, and then Jim also writes an in-depth blog post where you can find all the science behind everything he's saying.
Right. We've really made an effort to make sure that what we talk about is evidence-based. So what we talk about is based soundly in science. And it's funny because the way this was born, we both happened to be speaking at a conference together in Midland, Texas, a couple of years ago. We went out for dinner after, and we were talking, and Caryn and I had known each other for a long time. I lived in St. Louis for a long time before I moved to Washington, D.C. And she said, "Aren't you tired of people asking you, where do you get your protein?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm getting the same questions. Why don't we start a YouTube channel?" And that it was literally born in that moment. And proud to say I'll be in St. Louis in 2 weeks. We'll be filming our 50th episode of,
Yeah.
Doc and Chef.
All right.
So
That's
we're we're so excited to do this on the boat again. We did it last year. We had a great time. And I mean, what a better place to learn about changing your lifestyle, changing your eating habits, your behaviors, all those things than on a still pretty new, beautiful ship in the middle of the Caribbean in January.
That's right. I mean, you know, that's the amazing thing, really, because I've been on cruises, and you know, most people, I have patients that go on cruise, and they're embarrassed to come see me after because they've gained 10 pounds, and they know their cholesterol is going to be out of whack. You know, this cruise, because of the great work you've done, Mike, you know, really working closely with celebrity and getting truly to, like, not just healthy food, but really optimally healthy food, you know, onto the plates for all the attendees. There's people that lost weight, you know, on this cruise. That's crazy. I mean, you know, that's crazy. You just don't see that. And again, I mean, you know, it's like a dream vacation, right? You get to have all the things that come with a cruise, the destinations and the beaches and the activities on the boat, but you get to feel better. You can be healthier.
And understand how to do that when you get off the boat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just doing it, providing the food, but it's the education, the other lecturers, the slate of educators that you have teaching people the power of plants and the power of lifestyle, so that not only do they get healthier on the boat, they can stay healthier when they get off the boat over the long run. That's really the beauty of what this cruise offers, to me at least. That's you know, it's amazing.
Yeah, and of course, your cooking demos are in person, so people get to taste right there what you prepared. They get to watch, they get to ask you detailed questions, they get to kind of bounce the stuff off of new friends that they've met. And of course, what do you guys think about the kitchen that you were in? Like that kitchen, I mean, and then the view outside, try to describe the view also. Like,
I've never worked in a more breathtaking venue in my entire life. I mean, I did not want to step off of the stage just because that window in the front of the boat.
That's the back of the boat. We were looking right out the back of the boat.
That's
right out the back of the boat. Right.
It was, I mean, you know, we're trying to concentrate on each other, and I'm kind of trying to concentrate on the food and answering questions, but you just want to be like,
because right out the back window, the whole back is in this glass. And you know, the chefs, they were so helpful.
And the restaurant was incredible. Chef Jeff, which was our chef at that restaurant, and he has been with Celebrity for 17 years. They were so gracious in letting us take over their kitchen.
Right. And the other thing that I found fascinating is they learned like half the staff was out watching our cooking demos, taking notes, learning from what we did. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the dishes we made, they were so impressed, they were talking about putting it on the menu at one of the restaurants because it was so healthy and such. And so, again, that was pretty amazing to have these, you know, these chefs, you know, pretty well-known, kind of well-trained chefs learning from us around, because just like in the medical field, I don't think a lot of chefs learn about the health part of food cooking, and being able to share that with these chefs on the boat was amazing.
Well, that's what it's all about, I think, is just learning new things, right? Because we're always, seems like so many of the new things we learn are actually old methods. I think that we forgot about, okay? But we're relearning them now in modern society, in modern times, and recognizing the benefits of implementing these new habits. So that's like the benefit too, is you surround yourself with all these people that want to do the best they can. The food, let me also talk about the food, because like you said, it's at a very high level. It's our healthy vegan food nutritional standard, which has 6 pillars like lifestyle medicine, but it's specifically about the food. No added oil, no added salt, no refined sugar, has to have no animal products, no alcohol, and then has to have actual plant fiber in the dish. So that is not what you get at the average, or really any even plant-based restaurant, right? If you go to, if you wouldn't get all 6 in one item, would you? I mean, I have a nearly impossible time finding that.
Right. No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And again, people need to understand that fundamental connection between the food that we eat and our health. And it's funny, Mike, you said, you know, the old ways. I tell my patients all the time, it's crazy that we get paid to travel around the world to tell people things their grandmother told them. Eat your vegetables, go outside and play, get some sunshine, don't drink alcohol, get a good night's sleep.
And it's also that this week, this health hawk, we call it, nobody has to think about it, right? There's so many, like, you look at the menu, this is what's for dinner, or these are the choices you have, and you get to taste all this delicious food, and you don't have to think about it. You know, there's no recipes. You don't have to make this at home right now.
Yes.
soaking up the information, sitting down with new friends, eating delicious food that is really very nutritious, and having a good time at three different beaches in the Caribbean.
Right.
How can you say no to that?
Right. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're going to lose weight. And kind of like you said, Chef Caryn, breakfast was about to me, it was like maybe the same 10 items you could choose from, which was still a good variety. But then lunch and dinner was at least 3 or 4 course meals, and every item was always different. It never repeated. So you can imagine the amount of work that goes into that. Plus, they can't source commercially the sauces or dressings or condiments because none of those meet our 6 pillars of healthy vegan food. So all that had to be scratch made, right? I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot of work, and I'm sure celebrity, if they have not, shame on them, but I'm sure they have said thank you very much for the education, because again, just what Jim was saying, that they're getting educated too.
Yes. Yes. And also, speaking of getting something, if anybody's out here watching and wants to get a discount because you haven't signed up yet, Caryn and Dr. Loomis have a discount code. It's HOC50 Caryn D, CARYND. It's down below there. Okay, you don't have to remember it. It's down below in the description. And then the website for our event is healthoptimizationcruise.org. You can see some examples of the food. We've got those up about a month or two ago. Scroll down, you see the examples of the food. Click on the presenters rectangle. You can learn more about Dr. Loomis and Caryn and the other presenters as well. And it's fun. It's educational. You don't have to hurt yourself when you're on vacation, like you said, Dr. Loomis. You don't have to be embarrassed when you go back to see your physician afterwards.
Cholesterol is going to be lower and your blood pressure is going to be lower, right? I mean, that's right. Crazy, right? Because that's, people don't look at cruises. I mean, they're trying to stay out of the chocolate, the chocolate buffet at midnight, right? I mean, they don't have to worry about that on this cruise because all that food is provided for them. So
yes, and just to clarify, we have our own private dining area where we highly encourage everybody to join us because you get to hobnob here with Dr. Loomis and Chef Caryn and with all the other presenters as well in our private dining area that only our people can go into. But you do have free reign to go around the whole rest of the ship if you want to. So if you have somebody who's with you who's maybe not on the same page as you, you all can find some kind of balance as to what you like in the vacation. So, we realize it's a transition, right? I mean, it's a journey for the whole world, I think, to improve their health and not hurt themselves. And I'm glad for the work that both of you are doing because you're at the forefront of what everybody's doing. Especially, I'd say you all are kind of more in working with everyone, right? With the average Joe and the average Jane. I mean, we are too, but we want to kind of imagine what's possible. What's the furthest we can take this? Like every year we're adding more things. Like this year, we're adding fully raw. If someone wants to have fully raw versions of all the food, they can. It's automatic. There's no extra charge. That's something that we couldn't imagine that they would do for us the first year.
Right.
But now they're doing that.
I
don't know how you feel about that, Chef Caryn, about making raw versions of these cooked items that were done. I mean,
I'll tell you, Mike, I'm really, as a chef, I'm very excited about it because I'm curious about it. I would like to do more of that, but we only have so much bandwidth, right? There's so many, the travel and other classes and there's a lot. So I am welcoming that. It just personally, on a selfish note, I'm very, very curious as to how that is going to be executed. And also, I'm really excited because last year I had some of the raw options. There was a raw lasagna.
Yeah. And I was like, how this raw? How did they do this?
It was so delicious. It was filling, but not heavy. I mean, so I'm really excited about it this year.
Yeah. I mean, and then I kind of view these as the raw living foods in a way, right? Because they're more alive. I mean, it's a whole different paradigm. And even when I go out, I mean, there are some raw restaurants that are out there, but even those are very heavy. They're high in fat. They have added oil. They have added salt. We don't have any of that. It's just going to be. They're going to have to get so creative, like you said. I'm curious to see how they handle this one too.
Right.
Yeah, they're really. You know what? I like that their crew, their employees, everybody is willing to take a chance on all of us, and because offering a little bit of raw here and there, doable. But for 7 days,
right, for
all meals.
But Caryn, I think people, and Mike, you kind of alluded to this. I think people are waking up to the power of food. I don't think people want to be sick anymore. And
Mhm.
you know, I see this in my patients, and people are starting to understand that the food that goes in our mouth is really the first step in preventing, treating, and reversing these chronic diseases. And the more you can get to a whole food, plant-based, what, you know, get rid of the salt, get rid of the oil, get rid of the sugar. That is how you're going to achieve optimal health. And I think people are recognizing that, and I think they're starting to demand it. And I think this is an opportunity for the cruise ships to learn from you, learn from us about how they can take this message forward, not just to the people on the boat, but to everybody going forward. Because I think increasingly there's a huge demand for this type of, you know, access to healthy food across the whole, you know, vacation industry, if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, and also they're making it not accessible, but also approachable.
Right. That's right.
So you don't have to be scared of it.
Right.
You know?
That's right. So yeah, we're excited. We're excited for the future. We're going to keep learning every year from you all, and we're going to keep challenging everybody to kind of raise to the next level, whatever that is. We're already working on next year. I can tell you that we've got some interesting things that are in development for 2026. But for now, for January 2025, it's going to be like, you know, start a new year, start it, like you said, Dr. Loomis, in the way that everybody really wants to do this. I think they just didn't know it was possible, you know,
Right.
and now that they know that it's possible, we can go out and we can do it. We can have fun. And I don't know. I mean, just keep going with it. Like you said, we think that every vacation should be like this. Every restaurant should be like this. Every food provider should offer these options, but they need to see a demand. That's the thing, right?
Right.
So as long as we can get to our ultimate goal, which is selling out the whole ship, which I think it's like 2,500 people, we're still a long ways from that. Okay, but we're here for year number 2, and we have not lost money. A lot of times when someone goes into a new space, right, that has a smaller number of people that are interested, you run that risk. And at least we were able to make it through, which was our goal for the first year. And then we're going to keep going just like that. And we're so thankful to see you guys coming back, and hopefully every year from here on out.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
we're
great.
excited.
Sign
We're
me
really
up.
excited.
Sign
Yeah.
us up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of the Lifestyle Medicine Conference, and I look forward to seeing you in person in January when we get to escape winter together, and probably do better than I had been doing that week before on our
there you
cruise,
go.
food wise.
All right. Sounds
All right.
great.
All right. Yep. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Later. All right. Bye.